Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News. And I'm your host, Ellie Holder. This is Weather and Lifestyle News Show, the stuff they don't show on regular news. Why? Boy, I got great shows today. This one and the one coming up afterwards with Lee. Yeah, I think everybody needs to watch this. We're exposing from the beginnings of 20, 30, 40 years ago. Oh, anyway, come watch it. I think we'll open some eyes. I opened some eyes with some friends this week, and I called them up, and they're like, but. No, just listen. So, we're about news that's not being heard. Yeah, even the weather. Did we hear about the big earthquake on the news? Karen, did you? Susan, Linda G, William, anybody? Did you hear about the big earthquake? Why? Wow. There's a peanut happening. Yeah. All right. So, today I got some great news. The three-legged bear. I got to thinking about it. That bear opened the fridge with his front paw. He had one leg missing, and he opened the fridge and got seltzer. He got liquor with one paw. Wow. All right. But we do have Miss Davis. Oh, look at her. Where's William? You were, oh boy, come to my house. I need like 15 cleaners. And so I was hit with, how you feeling? How you feeling? I feel with my hands. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big joke. And I hit everybody up with it. They said, how you feeling? I had 3 or 4 phone calls today. How you feeling? With my hands. Yeah. I like my coffee strong and black like my, that was one of the first things that got me banned. It's an airplane joke. Remember the movie Airplane? Yeah. The little girl with a cup of coffee. I like my men strong and black like. Oh, yeah. And I got a strike. And remember that, Karen? I got hit up with 2 weeks. They banned me for that. It was a joke. Yeah. All right. Let's listen. We got hurricane updates, folks. Hurricane Lee is strengthening. They're thinking it will make landfall. And so Miss Davis is going to go over it with you, and then we'll get into these big earthquakes. Oh.
Hurricane Lee has winds of 80 miles per hour right now, and this thing is not done strengthening. It's sitting well out into the Atlantic, and the reason why this is such cause for concern is because, well, look at the force this is going to have. It is expected to rapidly intensify as we go into the weekend, and by this weekend, we could be looking at a monster with peak winds by Saturday of 155 miles per hour. So this is going to be a formidable storm. Now, the track of this storm, that is the big question mark. And simply, it's just too early to tell. So as we track this out, here comes Lee on the move going into the weekend. Now, it is likely right now to stay north of Puerto Rico and to the south of Bermuda. But we will see some rains in Puerto Rico, the Leeward Islands. Certainly those swells will pick up by this weekend. So the current thinking is by next week, note the time, next Thursday, this system is turning to the north and staying away from the U.S. But it is simply too early to tell. There's a look at the forecast tracks. Now, remember, this could change within the next couple of days, and this is why we're going to keep monitoring the system.
Okay, we see that, folks. Now look at this. I'm having a weird feeling that it's either going to hit real close to the Carolinas. Susan and Karen, go get some stuff. Go get some water, get some candles, get a flashlight. I'm going to say prepare. Also, if it is going to go out to the ocean, I'm warning those in Bermuda. Because see, if you look at the scribble, I made fun of the scribble lines yesterday, and I could still make fun of them because it makes no sense. But if you look at the main track, if you get rid of the scribbles that are on the screen right now, if you get rid of the scribbles and you go down to very few lines, that's what the yellow lines are. So we're looking at Miami. We are looking at the Carolinas. We're looking at DC, Pennsylvania. Okay. And then if we look at the next one, it might go out to Bermuda. So, Karen and Susan, those along the East Coast, go and get stuff early. Don't go stock up on bread and water and milk and freeze it. Milk doesn't freeze, bread doesn't freeze. Just get what you need for the next couple days. Candles. Look at a power outage. Now I know Karen's got the little peanut, so Karen, just prepare for it. What will you need if you have peanut there and your power goes out? You're going to need a flashlight, a candle. Make sure you got food for her. Have sandwiches that day for yourself. And Susan, I'm saying the same thing. I don't know if Susan's got grandkids that she watches, but just prepare for this. So, um, but yeah, bread don't freeze is what Karen says. Yeah, don't freeze the bread. Don't go to the store and buy 15 loaves of bread, 20 gallons of water, uh, uh, a year's worth of candles. What good is that going to do you for 2, 3 days? Come on now, leave it for others. Get a couple candles, get some bread, get some stuff to make sandwiches. If you don't have power, think of what you could eat without power. Do it before and not wait till it's on you and then say, oh, I got to go buy 50 gallons of water. Oh, come on now, folks. Yeah. Am I right, Karen? Now, Karen has been talking to our now, in the next hour, I'm going to have Leon here. Karen's been talking to him. And I think Karen needs to keep talking to him and get info. Because as we go along, Karen's going to learn for what to say in chat. So, Karen, keep going with him. And he likes you. So, Lee is, this gentleman is young enough to be my own son, folks. I asked him the age of, how old is your mom? She's my age. So what he is seeing is what my children and grandchildren would be seeing. So join us definitely on the next hour. Um, so I want to get to the earthquakes. Now we did have, oh boy, a 6.2 earthquake in Chile. Let me show you this. So we had a big one in Chile, of all places. Now, I have been so wrong, and I think Dutchins is even starting to bang his head against the wall, saying it should have been here. Why is it over here? Well, let's take a look at what we have for the map. Then we had this, and there, get this, folks, there was only 24 earthquakes. This is light. This, normally when we have a huge earthquakes, we have 30, 40, 50 because of aftershocks. Why is there only 24 earthquakes? This one here, let me get this. Um, 6.2. This was about 35 miles deep. So they felt it. So what are we looking at? And then we had an aftershock of 4.3. And then on the Pacific or Antarctic ridge, 5.2. What about a 5.1 in Indonesia? that's almost straight across, and then it goes quiet. Why? Why? If we have an earthquake, and if folks realize earthquakes run on a fault line and they go around the Pacific, um, the fire ring is what they call it. And so if it's going to do a 5.1 in Indonesia, we should see something big up north. What's up north? A 4.5 in Russia. Okay, and there's nothing in between. We have one a 4.5 in Guam, which is weird. And then we go to Russia, and then we only have a few. We have two in Alaska. It shouldn't be. It should be a bunch, because if we seen this in Chile, it should have been. We see the 5.3. We should have seen something in Japan. We should have seen something in Russia. We should have seen activity in Alaska, but we didn't. And we seen a kind of activity in Redway, California. Really? Why Redway? I mean, if we're looking at um, what happened in Chile and it went to Indonesia, it went to um, Russia, and then the next one we're going to look at is Redway, California. Really? Why isn't it? Why? And I said, why isn't it Petrola? Why isn't it in Ferndale? Why isn't it in Eureka? That's the fault line. And then they said, oh, wait a minute. Now we got one in a 2.9 in Walker, California. This you could feel it's just there on the surface. Pinnacles, California, same thing. I know they felt it. And the islands. Okay, the islands, and I make a big deal out of the islands, but it's gone quiet. But they did have one of a 2.5 in Puerto Rico that was on the surface. They felt it. And then we go around all the way to the end with a 4.3 in Colombia. Really? Yeah. So understand what I'm trying to say is if there is a 6.2 in Chile, there should have been something in Japan. There should have been something in Alaska. There should have been something in Northern California, but it didn't happen. Why? I think they are. We are seeing abnormalities in our earthquakes, our volcanoes. Yeah, I don't know if Mother Nature's trying to fix herself or what is going on. And even Dutch sense, you listen to him and he says it's here and here and here and here, and they're in between. And then when you say, well, why is this happening? He don't know. He really don't know. Is it a big one fixing to happen? When you look in history with global warming, it heated up, the last one. And then when Mother Nature fixed herself, we went into an ice age. Are we going into an ice age? Or are we going into uh, severe volcanoes, earthquakes that will just basically crack open the earth? We don't know. We don't know. Wow. And I'm not a volcanologist. I'm not an earthquake specialist like Dutch Sense. And if you're new, Dutch Sense is on Twitch and YouTube. Go watch him, Dutch Sense. Boy, folks, this is a time that Mother Nature is really trying to correct what has been put forth. Uh, Artificial nature. And I think, and it even says throughout history, Mother Nature will always fix herself. So don't be worried if you see these huge hurricanes, volcanoes, and storms. Mother Nature is just trying to fix itself. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. Um, Beachgoers. I know I think one of the I think it's the title of my show. It was one thing that when I went out to California and we even Karen, do you remember when we went to the beach in Myrtle Beach? I was finding garbage. It wasn't that bad, but you go out to California and you hit the beach, and I took my kids out to one of my favorite beaches, and it was just littered with garbage. So who cleans that up, folks? There's needles about that. Now it's not just needles. I'm not complaining really so much on the needles as the garbage. You've got plastic bottles, you got cans, you got whatever people take out to the beach. Why can't they just take a little garbage bag, put their garbage in the bag, and throw it in the garbage on the way out? Or even if you can't find a garbage can, take it home. Look at that. That's after a weekend of beachgoers. And the whole beach looks like that. Why? And when I seen that, I said, "That, whoa, look, that's what I seen in California." And I picked up as much garbage as I could and hoofed it back up. And there was a garbage can, and guess what? It was empty. Folks, if you're going to go to the beach, I mean, no, it's go to the beach, enjoy yourself, and pick up the garbage. But you know what? We're now in a society where we have to clean up after others. It's no longer, well, they threw it there. I'm not going to clean it up. No, in order to keep our beaches clean, or the wilderness clean, look at that, folks. It's time that we're going to have to pick up after others. And if you see people throw it and they get up and leave, say, "Hey, say something, say something." Because who's going to clean that up? Nobody. They don't have a beach police or garbage police. They don't have anybody that's going to go out and clean this up. And then who gets blamed? Oh, there's a straw in the neck of a turtle. Oh yeah, just be nice. Clean it up. If you see garbage of another beach goer, just clean it up and take it with you. Throw it in the garbage can. And if there's no room in the garbage, take it home. Throw it in your garbage can. It's only keeping. Oh, you remember oh boy, folks, and I know a lot of people my age remember this. Do you remember the commercial at the end of the night with the Indian? And he had garbage thrown at his feet. And you can see the tear coming down. Well, that's where we should be. And you know what? For that Indian and to keep America beautiful, pick up that garbage. What do you think, Karen? You think I'm right on this? Um, I'm eventually probably going to have Karen on my show. I talk about her so much, and she's talking to Lee, and she's getting info. Okay, so the 6.2 magnitude earthquake strikes Chile, and it was on Wednesday, but there were no immediate reports on the damage or injuries. Did you hear that? They didn't let them know. They just let it happen. And then, okay, let's clean up the problems. How many, why is the government's doing this? They said the earthquake struck at 8:48 p.m. Its epicenter was 25 miles south of Coquimbo, Chile. The quake had a depth of about 15 to 20 miles deep. It was felt. This is part, and they say this is Chile is part of the Ring of Fire. That's why I threw such a fit when I said didn't move forward and didn't do nothing. It wasn't on the Ring of Fire. It wasn't on the fault line. It went everywhere else. That's why. I look at this and they say the damages were minimal. And you know what? They don't really need help. When have we ever done that? When has the media ever claimed that people with an earthquake that strong, oh, well, we're not going to help them this time? Is the Red Cross over there? Why are we now at a 6.2 that will crumble buildings? Why are we ignoring helping them? And it's just all of a sudden since they signed a lot into um, Congress and Senate about right about March. All right, I'm gonna move on to the Great Comet. Catch a new comet before it disappears for 400 years. Let me set this up here. Um, and if you don't catch it and you're not able to see it, I mean, Karen, even get your baby out there. If you can catch one of these comets or asteroids, do it because it might be something that she sees and is a part of a history that she, even though she wouldn't understand it, but she would see it. You know what I'm saying? We could have to start history. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up, and you know what? Get your kids out. Watch this one. And this is the new one. And I don't know if you guys know, but there are so many people trying to find comets and asteroids. And if they find one and it's provable, they name the comet after the person that discovers it. I thought that was, that's great because why not give the credit to the person that finds the comets? And this one here, he has found quite a few. So there's quite a few comets named after him. All right. Um, Now it's odd. Now how many times have we heard about climbers in Yosemite? I know quite a few. I mean, because I hike, and a lot of people I know hike, but they rock climb. And when I heard that rock climbing was forbidden in Yosemite, I said, "Whoa, why? Why is that happening?" Well, it's because a rock has cracked, one of the biggest ones on one of the faces of the rock climbing wall that everybody wants to climb. The crack has partially detached a large pillar of rock, and the cracking was actively occurring, so it's still moving. And there's no earthquake. I went back and looked to see if earthquake caused this. There's nothing there. It's just cracking, and it's to the point where there has been a stop to the rock climbers of Yosemite. As a precautionary effort to reduce the risk of rockfall, the National Park Service is implementing a temporary area of a trail closure or rock climbing closure. See what I mean? What is going on in Yosemite? If there's no, there, they said no earthquakes, no nothing. It just started to crack. It opened up. It's spreading. Why? That's an earthquake. That's what caught my attention on it. I was like, okay, so it cracked. I looked for earthquakes and pulled up my red thing. I listened to Dutch Sense. I went back and looked. There's really no activity there. So why did the rock crack? Huh? That's something to think about, huh, folks? So the rock cracked, and now they're shooing everybody off the hillside, and they said it's spreading and getting bigger. What will we see with that Great Wall in Yosemite in the next few months, especially with The weather getting colder. How will cold affect it? Uh, Five asteroids to pass Earth this week, including one as big as a house. Uh, I'll have to show this to you. There we go. Bigger than a house. 60 feet in length, will be the first, coming approximately within 3.17 million miles of Earth. We might be able to see this. The next two asteroids, QEB, QF6, are expected to fly by Earth on Sunday. Approximately set 170 feet in length, they'll be the closest to Earth at 946,000 miles. QF6 measures under 70 feet and will fly within 1.65 million miles from Earth. NASA displays the next five approaching within 4.6 million miles. You guys like me? Wow. How come all the comets? How come all the asteroids? They hid it from us, folks. Yeah, these things have been happening. You talk to NASA guys, they go, "Oh, this is normal. It's been happening for years, decades." Well, why didn't we know about it? Well, they choose. They choose to tell us or not tell us. Oh yeah. Um, um, there have been secret memos, folks, and I'm talking about everything they hide from us. That raises more questions about UFO shootdowns over Alaska and Canada. There has been so many over Alaska, Canada, Hawaii, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic, that they have to look at. They got. Is it a drone? Is it uh, a missile from another country, or is it really a UFO? Or is it a comet, an asteroid? Now, there's more questions than answers. What is it, a UFO or not? When we have those orbs up there that are round over Hawaii or uh, South America, or we see them in off the East Coast, West Coast. Sometimes one, sometimes four, five, or six. They're all round. There was a good sized one that they basically tracked on February 14th, Valentine's Day. NORAD was jumped on it. They looked at it and they found multiples around the country. Are they spy planes, spy balloons, spy drones? We don't know. Is our government going to look into it? I don't know, folks. But of course, we have to worry about this, that UFO shoot downs over Alaska and Canada have been happening. And that's according to NASA and the Air Force. Um, a baby, oh boy, this guy's cute, folks. Come on, you got to say he's cute. Well, he decided when he started to cross the road, like a chicken, he didn't really get to the other side. He got tired. He laid down in the middle of the road. That's all the pictures of him. He laid down in the middle of the road and caused a traffic jam. Yeah, he was this cute little thing. Decided he was going to nap in the middle of the road, and everybody just had to wait. Do you shoo a calf out and risk mama coming after you, or you just let the calf sleep in the road? Uh, I think we just need to go around him and see if mama shows up. Locals catch street fish after Hikuyu Akui flooding. You don't realize how much this happens all over the world. And this was in China. Uh, the rivers swelled up, it flooded, the water receded, and there's fish everywhere. So over there in China, they had their buckets. They were picking them all up. The same way with Indonesia. This happens in Mexico. Third world countries do this. And so, what's wrong with it? They freeze them, they cook them up, they um, dehydrate them, they smoke them to where it will last a lot longer. Here we go. Look at that.
A surfer in Long.
Did you see that? That whole, it was like a little crate full of them. Great. This is what the people need. They're going to tell them, well, those are polluted waters. Don't eat the fish. I know it. But go, you know what? So what? They're draining our lake here. And so many fishermen are going out and catching dozens of fish. Yeah, freeze them up. You never know what's going to happen in these third world countries. They may be flooded now, but who's going to jump in and feed them? Is FEMA, the Red Cross? Well, we're seeing that FEMA and the Red Cross wouldn't even go to Maui. You think they're going to go to China? No. The Chinese people aren't bad, the leadership's bad. Alligator. Boy, this one really interested me, folks, because this guy, he don't even have a top half of his face. Look at that. And he's mad, he's angry, and it's shocking to see this. But it could be an alligator that was attacked by another alligator and ate his face off. We don't know. We don't know if it's a trap. There's no story behind the alligator with half a face. And everybody's like, so what's an alligator? Go away. Really? Why would we need to look at the alligator that chewed off? This guy's probably 10 to 14 foot long, and another alligator come up and chewed his snout off. Was it when he was a baby? We don't know. But if it's one that big, we're looking at a monster. And we're pulling alligators out at 10, 15 foot long and hundreds of pounds. They're getting bigger and bigger. Why? Because we down in Florida and the Gulf and even to Texas, Louisiana, we you remember the alligator hunter guys? They would go out and they would get all these alligators. Well, then some out of Florida came in and kind of took over, and they thought they got all the alligators. No, they just ran for cover. And now that they said, oh, there's no more alligators, went back to Florida or uh, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. Now these big ones are appearing. And they're saying they have not seen the flood of alligators from the hatchlings and the eggs. This is historical. It's historical, they say. So this guy here, he lost half his face. So more than likely he's going to be a breeder, folks. He's not going to fight. He's going to look for females and breed for more alligators. Wow. That's what the article told me. All right, so we're down to the funny stuff. Uh, I got what dads say, and when I say I have what moms say. Sometimes we got to think about this. Moms say the funniest things that moms they claim they've never said. I got a scholarship to NYU, Dad said. Of course you have. My brains, Mom's equipped, and I still have mine. After arguing with my older sister over something pointless, my mom said, I now understand why some animals eat their young. Yeah, I kind of want to say that when all the grandkids get in an argument. The 7-year-old has it. She rules. Mom, you're invading my personal space. And the mom says, well, you came out of my personal space. That makes us even. If you fall out of that tree and break both your legs, don't come running to me. That's a good one, Mom says. My mom said, clean up. I'm sick of seeing your dirty room. Um, and Grandma then yelled, then close the damn door and clean your own room. Oh, Grandma knows. Be nice to your brother. You might need one of his kidneys one day. Yikes. Told my son I expected my boyfriend in a new car for my birthday. And she said, a Ken doll and a Hot Wheels got it. No more boyfriend there. Hot Wheels? Yeah, a new car and you hand her a Hot Wheels. My mom caught me and my brother looking at dirty magazines when we were kids and said, yeah, I used to look like that at one time. And you might even find me in one of them. Ooh, I'm single. My mom said, if you feel lonely, dim the lights, put on a horror movie, and you won't feel like you're alone anymore. Ooh, oh boy, these are good. The sister, why wouldn't I survive medieval times? No one did, according to mom and sister. They're all dead. Ah, okay. I'm going to get on to dad stuff. Yeah, we got to get on to dad stuff. Um, Dad says, geez, Louise and Holy Hannah, what can I do for you? Yeah, cripe's sake and for Pete's sake. This is stuff my dad used to say. This would be grandpa stuff. When I was a kid, yeah, it would lead to a really good story. The uphill in the snow. Yeah. When I was a kid, yep, yep. Refers to his wife as a little lady, the missus, or my better half. How many times do I have to say this? What's the damage? I need to know so I can blame my wife or the kids. How many times do I have to tell you? Oh boy, I've used that one. Are you working hard or hardly working? A server at restaurants asks, do you want a ranch, blue cheese, Italian, or thousand for your salad? And yeah, really all the above, and I'll see what tastes the best on what you give me. Yeah. Okay, folks, that's it. So we're boy, I went over time and we had a lot of fun here today and hope you learned a lot. Clean up the beaches, folks. If you're going to go on vacation, it's not going to hurt to take an extra bag. Just put an extra little bag at the bottom of your purse and go clean up the beaches. It's now time that if we don't stand up to those that are bullies or doing things to the earth that we don't want, it's time to just tell them no. If you don't punish the kid becomes outlandish, wild, and you'll never gain control. All right, folks, subscribe, hit the like button, hit that bell so you can be notified when I'm online. And we hope that you'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's trivia. We'll have weather and lifestyle news, and then we go into trivia. And I'm feeling good. I think I'm back to normal. And so we'll see you tomorrow or come on back for the next show. It's very important. Um, if not, have a wonderful Thursday. And I'm very glad you guys support and watch us. Um, So, with that, we'll get to the end of the show. And here we go. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you for watching us.